Okay. AI and LLM. Welcome to today's episode of the PowerShell Studios VFX Tools. In today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to do the Doctor Strange VFX tutorial. I mean, for for a while now, it has been our trademark for the VFX Tools show. So we've actually tried to make tutorials on it, but we actually had to postpone to the third episode. So here is a preview of what you are going to make in today. As you can see, it's a bit like portal kind of look, and we hope that by the end of this tutorial, you're able to create a perfect replica of this. So right now, let's just open After Effects, and you can follow our instruction as we actually go through this. Now, in the first process, we have to create of a new solid. We're going to be using Trapcode Particular. You can get this from the Red Giant website, and it's not free though. You can try some things with the trial for now, and just with some big course of X. But at least you are going to be able to learn something cool. So right now, let's create the first solid and call it Particular. We're going to apply a dose of Trapcode Particular to this particular effect, and once you apply Trapcode Particular, you can move front and you can see the particles. This is quite amazing. Now, follow us as we do this in another manner. Though we cannot actually just set the emitter like that, we actually have to draw a mask. Okay, so first of all, we're going to create a solid. Name this one mask. Now, this is the solid. We are going to draw a circle. So I'll actually advise you draw from the here, then press the shift. Hold down shift and control and draw a perfect circle just like this. Now this circle, you're going to have to drag it towards the center just like this. Then we cannot just make the circle like this, so you're going to have to trace the circle. Go to layer and you press auto trace, and you can press the current frame and you can press OK, and after some few auto tracing we get this. So you can actually just minimize the mask area and drag it underneath the particular. Then select the auto trace masked. That we actually know the name is auto trace masked. Then we go back to the particular. We go back to our emitter in the particular, in Trapcode Particular, and please follow the following instruction in a very good way. Yeah, something you should note about, okay? When it comes to making stuffs in particular, there is something that we actually do all the time. So we are going to actually have to come to the mask, and we're going to copy the mask part. Press Ctrl C, click on this and copy the mask part. Then open the Trapcode Particular, go to the emitter, then under the emitter go to the position, click on the position and press your Ctrl V to paste. And we have some few keyframes right here. Now, trace mouse, you can actually prevent this from showing and maybe drag it underneath the entire thing. And if you move this around, you can see, okay, you can see the stuff moving in a round cycle. And as you can see, we have some bits of some errors here. We'll deal with that in just the next few minutes. So after that, we actually have to go to the particles per second. Follow the next instruction very carefully because it's going to get a bit tricky. We're going to set this thing to 50,000. We want to see 50,000 particles on our screen. Then please in the middle for, okay, so it's going to look just like this. Then we want to set the direction to directional. We want it to be directional, and the direction spread would be 20 as usual. Set the velocity to -250. To -250. Then can set the velocity distribution to 0.5. Then the velocity from motion, you can set it to 20. Okay, now click on the stopwatch, press Alt and click on the stopwatch action. Yeah, and you can actually set, we're going to write some few expressions. It's just a very simple expression. And okay, we're going to write wiggle 1.5. That's all we're going to write in for this expression, and that's the reason why we have to write this. to give the stuff more kind of a portal kind of feeling. Then also we're going to set the emitter size. The emitter type should be set to box. Pardon me about that. Set to box. Then set the emitter size from linked to individual. Then set the size as follows: 20 by 20 by 100, and boom, we should have that. Then also the velocity random should be set to 100. Yeah, to be set to a massive 100. Then after that, we're going to move to the particle part of the trap code particular, and we're going to set the life to 1.3 seconds. Okay, then we're going to set the life random, okay, to definitely nothing, but the particle type is sphere. But ensure the feather is 50. The size should be 0.7. We want to make this thing to look thin. Wow, we're getting that kind of feeling. 0.7, and we're going to set the size random. We're going to set it to a massive 32% to give it a bit of some variable, like a variation. Sorry. Then opacity, we're going to set the opacity to 80. We want this thing to have more of like a faint feeling. 80. Then we're going to set the color to at start as usual, and we're going to change the color later, not now. Then we're going to go to the physics tab, and in the physics tab we're going to set the gravity to a massive 50%. Okay, and we're going to set time factor is always 1 all the time. So I think we've set most of those things. So that's actually all for that first part. I mean the first part of the stuff. So we'll actually have to create the second part. But about the position, I want to make this thing to have a bit of duration. So let's come here and press U to review all the keyframes of the trap code particular. We have to select this and move this back. Like this. I'm going to move it back to at least the first frame. Let's move to the first frame for now. And in the position, we're going to select the position, press Alt on the position, and we're going to write a simple expression. Okay, we're going to be using sorry about that. We're going to be using the loop position, loop out, and boom, we should have something different now. So the stuff keeps going, keeps going, like some kind of a randomized kind of speed. It keeps going over and over and over and over and over again. However, if you check the Doctor Strange portal effect, I mean, I have one of the effects loading right there. We'll discover something about it. Okay, fine, it has some moving lines. But it has those particles, these faint particles that they actually move away from it. So let's actually try and create that part. So the particular, okay, we are going to duplicate it and we're going to make some few changes in the next few minutes. So first of all, we want to actually, now please note about this thing, press U and you can see this keyframe. We can actually reduce this to more. This gives it makes it even much more faster. That's one thing I've noticed. It makes it much more faster once you reduce it even more. And this particular one, you can actually reduce it to so they can meet each other. Not look like warring brothers and sisters. So come back to the particular here, and we're going to rename this to press enter, and we're going to do particular 2. This is the faint particles part. So first of all, we want to set the particle per second to 7,500. I want to set the emitter type to point. Then also want to set the frame to 10x linear. Please, let's go back to the particular here. We have to set this one also to 10x linear. That's the reason, to make it smoother. 10x linear. And then also we actually have to set this thing to directional. Set the direction spread to 20 and set the velocity to -800. good. We have minus 800 for that part. Then also velocity random is 100, 0.5. Then velocity from motion 20.4. Actually, we're going to actually have to talk with this motion, but first let's leave it for now. Let's come back to the particle, and we have our life at 1.3, the sphere and everything is always alright. And the size, now increase the size to 1.4 this time around. The size have a bit of variation, so you can see we have this kind of particle kind of feeling, and we have the at start and all the rest. Now the physics, the gravity is 50 and time factor is 1. But now the variation that we have to add to this thing, come to the rendering, the motion blur, and set the motion blur to on. We want to make sure the motion blur is on to give it this faint feeling effect, and we want to set the face to 0 and the shutter angle 360 and the type to linear. So of course we have an effect that is just like this. Okay, quite amazing on its own. So the effect actually goes hand in hand with each other. As you can see, they are both moving at the same speed and at the same time. This one has 50,000 particles and this one has 7,500 particles. So right now let's give them a bit of more of like color. Let's add color to it. So I'm going to select something like small things like this. And for the particular 2, I will be selecting the same thing too. So of course we managed to give them a bit of some color, and this is looking great. This is looking pretty good. We are doing a very great job. So of course it looks faint and a bit dramatic, so let's give it more of like a touching. First of all, okay, I think the velocity from motion, I think I made a mistake. Press Alt on the stopwatch, turn this back to 0, then click on the stopwatch again and write the wiggle effect, the wiggle, and we're going to be using wiggle 1.5, and boom, in particular 1. So we're going to actually go back to the wiggle part, that wiggle part. We're going to set the velocity from motion, click on the stopwatch. It has been set to 0, and we're going to click on Alt, and we're going to use the wiggle, and we're going to press the 1.5. Boom. So we have like the particles, but the particle doesn't seem to be enough. It looks a bit awkward. So we're going to increase this to 60,000 particles to give it more life, and we're going to come back to the particular here and set this to 10,000 particles to give this more life. Okay, and now this is looking quite impressive. I mean, this is looking pretty dope. We are loving what we are doing, and so I think I want to add some bits of some deep glow to this particular effect. I want to add deep glow to this guy too, and boom. There you have it. This is your Doctor Strange effect. You can see how this is created within just 13 to 14 minutes, and so you can actually perfect and create your own, and this rotates pretty fast. I mean, this is rotating very fast. You can add some variation. I mean, you can just create something like maybe a saber effect. I mean, if you look at the one I have right here, at the beginning I have more of like a saber to give it a kind of more fluid kind of effect at the background. You can make the saber to actually go along with the line and something like that. You can check what tutorials on saber from the video Copilot and add your own variations to it. I'd love to see your own variations. You can send in maybe a picture of what you've done, a video of what you've done, and I know anything you're going to do is going to be very amazing, so I'm open for that. So that's all for now. Thank you so much. I'll see you next episode of VFX Trails.
It's green, it's dry, it's wild. Catch brand new episodes of Wildlife Explained Lions, only on the official YouTube channel at Wildlife Explained.